Welcome to CF Education Day. Thank you for being here. My name is Jillian Mosek. I'm a 27-year-old adult living with cystic fibrosis, and I'm here to share with you a bit about my experiences. Everyone with CF is different, but a typical day with CF for me is wake up with my son. We get a bowl of Cheerios right away. I'll make my coffee. I check my blood sugar right away when I get up in the morning to make sure it's not too high or too low. I'll make us some delicious eggs and try to have a high-calorie breakfast. Take my morning medicine, some vitamins, Symdeco, and of course my enzymes. After that I do my first breathing treatment of the day. Albuterol and usually Pulmozyme, and I use the Monarch vest. And Simon and I will play in our playroom together. We play tractors and trucks and anything that moves. After my morning treatment, when Simon and I are both ready to go for the day, we'll go to the park, meet up with friends. We will go to the library for story time. He loves to play with other kids at the library, do all the little crafts they have there. When we come home, have a high-calorie lunch, usually turkey and cheese sandwiches, some fruit and cottage cheese, something along those lines, for both of us. And then I put him down for his nap for the day. That's when I do my second treatment. That also takes about 30 minutes, and that's a great time for me to get my work done. So I strap on my Monarch vest and do 7% saline, which is breathing in like ocean water, and then also the albuterol too. And that, usually by that time of the day, I'm feeling like I need another treatment. If I push it too late in the day, I start to feel kind of crummy. So that's a good time for me to just pause in my day and, clear that mucus out. After the treatment, and I get caught up on emails and some work, I will do a workout. Typically it's some strength conditioning in the afternoon. That helps me to keep my body really strong, helps me to work on my breathing and cough out any mucus, keeps my lungs really strong. And then after that, usually Simon wakes up. Sometimes he wakes up during my workout, so it takes me a lot longer to get it done. And then he and I will often go babysit for another family in the afternoon. I get to bring him with me. We'll play outside, go for a bike ride. Sometimes we go to the grocery store and just kind of prepare for our evening together. My husband comes home from work around 6, and we all have dinner together. If it's nice outside, we'll eat outside and enjoy some time together out there. Usually go for a walk in the evening. And of course at this time of the day, I'm really keeping an eye on my blood sugar because in the evenings, especially if I eat a big meal with a lot of carbs, my blood sugar is getting a little higher. So sometimes I have to take a little insulin at meal times. Simon goes to bed around 7:30. We watch a little cartoons and do bath time. My husband will put him down, and if I haven't gotten to my workout that day, or if I want to go for a run, that's really my time to do it. And running is great airway clearance. After that, I will do my third treatment of the day, and my husband and I will sit and watch Netflix or read a book together and just kind of unwind from the day. And this final treatment takes, again, about 30 minutes. I wear my vest and do the saline again, and then I do an inhaler at night that keeps my airways open for like 12 hours. And then I take my Symdeco again before I go to bed with another high-fat snack so that it can be absorbed. So that is a day in the life of my story with CF. When I think about my transition to adult CF care from pediatrics, I think about two stories. First, when I was hospitalized once, just before I turned 18, my CF social worker took me to the adult floor. It's like walking into a different world. They didn't have any colorful animals painted on the wall, not a lot of life to them, and the nursing staff wasn't quite as friendly or accommodating. As pediatrics, everyone wore like colorful fun scrubs on the peds floor. There was just a sense overall that there wasn't as much fun and joy on those types of floors. I have people next door to me who were at the end of their life versus a little newborn crying next door. So all of that felt very different. I sort of felt like suddenly I was transported to this different world. You know, people with CF are in the hospital quite a lot, so that looks different at every hospital. Some hospitals have a specific CF wing. Ours did not. And then when I was about 22, I moved to a new care center, and that was another hard transition as an adult. I got a new doctor who was a lot more laid back, and so this taught me, and just being an adult in general, taught me that it was my job to be my own advocate. My mom wasn't there to help me anymore. My husband was still learning with me how to advocate. I really had to learn how to steer the ship by myself. If I wanted something to get done or wanted to be, treated for an exacerbation, it was my job to say it. The doctor wasn't going to tell me what to do. And that was really hard and scary to adjust to, because it's not a light thing to take care of your own health, and the consequences are pretty severe if you make a wrong turn. So I took that really seriously, and I try to be really involved with my care. Specific things that helped me transition to adult CF care was my family. I would still text my mom and ask her what she thought when I was feeling sick, or how she had handled things in the past. I came to realize all the things that she did in my CF care since I kind of took that over. When I was a kid, she created a binder for me, which was basically like my medical chart from every doctor's visit or test or hospital stay, and she passed that on to me, which I now do my best to keep up with. I'm very close with the nurse at my CF center and feel very comfortable trusting her with my life. And really just getting to know the people who take care of me has helped me a lot. The most helpful part about being in the hospital with CF is that it's the closest I'll ever come to having a vacation from CF. As odd as that sounds, I am not in charge of every integral detail of my day. I don't have to remember to wash my nebulizers. I don't have to remember what time to do my treatment. I am just there, and everyone comes to me to help take care of the many different pieces of CF. The other parts that are really helpful are, of course, the visitors that come, my family who rearranges their life and their schedule to take care of Simon, visit me from afar or close by. It's a very isolating experience. So without those visitors and the company, I don't know how I would make it. The third piece is the hospital staff, especially the nurses. Unfortunately, there's no child life for adults, which is really hard. They really can make you feel like a human and just joke with you and not show you any kind of pity, but just talk to you like you're a human. A lot of nurses want to see pictures of Simon, and they ask me lots of questions about him, and that keeps me focused on my goal of staying healthy for him and for my family. Worst parts of being in the hospital: the food. Having no control over your life. Suddenly life has to stop for 2 or 3 weeks, and you're pumped full of these antibiotics that are supposed to help you, but you feel kind of gross in the meantime. Not showering because there's a needle in your chest and you can't even take a bath. It's an isolating experience. You are kind of plucked out of your life and into a different arena that you can't control. And if I don't stop my life for a couple weeks to take care of that infection, I don't really have that same quality of life to live. It's really about keeping your mind on why you're there, why you're doing this, having your friends bring you food. Having a family and managing CF is really challenging, but really, really worth it. I think of an example that just happened yesterday. I ran a 5K, and it took an hour for us to get there, but we were running really late. So I grabbed my Monarch and I grabbed my nebulizer machine, and my husband's putting Simon in the car, and we're orchestrating this great task of how to get there on time. And I did my treatment on the way there. My husband's asking me, do I have everything I need? He's helping me to make all of this happen. And really it's it's teamwork. It's that support for one another. It took me a while to realize that he was still new to CF when we first got married, that I had lived with it for 25 years, and it was his first year of getting to know what that was like, to have CF in the house with him. He is my rock in just keeping life together so that I can take care of myself. He never makes me feel guilty for having to do treatments or acts like it is any kind of burden. And that's how my family was as I grew up too, which is really a testimony to how I can manage CF and how I can stay healthy. The first time Simon ever said, "Mommy, no treatment," because he wanted me to play outside with him instead, yeah, I did cry. That was a hard moment. But I said I could sit here and cry about it and feel sad that my kid has to know CF and that we have to all know CF. Or we can just make this part of our day and have fun inside on the floor, or go take my Monarch and sit outside. It's a lesson for Simon too. And he's just going to grow up knowing that his mom has CF, and he's going to be better for it too, just like I'm better for it. Thank you so much for being here today and just taking some time to learn about CF. It is an honor for me to share my story with you. Your care for people with CF really makes a difference.